Back on SportsCenter, Game 2 of the NBA Finals in the books. Golden State trailing 1-0. This was a 2-point game. Warriors led at the half, and then the third quarter was the difference. Klay Thompson, on a night he didn't shoot it well. He was only 1 of 8 from three-point range. That's his lone make. It goes, and the Warriors led by 7. Steph, step back, you don't know me like that. 29 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. The lead is up to 8. Still an 8-point game. Klay off the bounce blows right by Jaylen Brown. But again, this was a 68-62 game with 4 minutes to go before the Dubs went off. Curry, about 63 points in 2 games of this series. Only Jordan had more among players 34 years old or older. One more time, Curry had 14 in the third quarter alone. 30 seconds to play. This, one of the 2 backbreakers, Jordan Poole, a deep 3. The lead was up to 20, but this one was the real dagger. Closing seconds from Curry range. I mean, that is mid-court, and Poole gets it again. 39-foot three-pointer. The Chase Center exploded after that one went down. Poole had 17. Steph led all scorers with 29. Third longest three-pointer in the NBA Finals in the last 25 years. The Warriors even up this series at 1 game apiece, 107-88.
All right, joined now by Draymond Green from the Chase Center in San Francisco. Draymond, as many times as you guys have been to the finals in the last 8 years, 6 times, you've experienced pretty much everything. And after game 1, you said you guys were unfazed by the actual outcome. Having said that, though, giving up 40 points in the fourth quarter on your home floor in game 1, what impact did that have in how you started game 2?
It had a huge impact because the 40 points was a direct impact of us giving up shots in the first quarter. I gave Al Horford a walk-in 3 and got him going. Derek White got a couple open ones that got him going. So we knew that we had to come out aggressive from the very start of the game, making sure guys felt us, and then those shots later in the game, they're not so easy.
You know, turnovers are one thing. Live ball turnovers are like gold to a defensive team. 18 turnovers in this game for Boston. You guys had 15 steals, though. When you are getting those type of turnovers, Draymond, what does that do for you guys? Not just getting easy buckets, but the entire defensive scheme.
I mean, it does a lot. Obviously, you can get some easy buckets out of it, but more importantly, those guys know they feel you. They know you're there. You're swarming. You're not letting guys just pass the ball wherever they want. You're making them play on our terms. And so those turnovers and steals are everything. We knew we had to come out and play with force on the defensive end, and that 15 steals is indicative of that.
All right, so you said 2 things that stood out to me. You said they need to feel us, and we got to play with force. And obviously, a lot of that burden falls on your shoulders. We saw you getting physical with Jaylen Brown, you with Grant Williams, Marcus Smart. What mentality is that for you, Draymond, in a game like this where you know you couldn't fall behind 2-0?
Can't fall behind 2-0. I know that falls on me, the physicality. That's my department. I have to make sure I lead in that area and everyone else will follow. So wanted to come out physical from the gate, make sure guys knew that that's the intensity, that's the physicality level that we need to be at in order to win in the NBA Finals. And so I just wanted to come out and lead by examples and get a guy something to follow.
All right, so with that said, how concerned were you that they may have given you a second technical when you and Jaylen Brown were down on the floor?
Not at all.
Word? I mean, you are Draymond Green. You said they treat you differently.
That is, but it's the NBA Finals. And, like I said, I wear my badge of honor. It's not that I'm saying they necessarily treat me different. I've earned differential treatment, and I enjoy that. I embrace that. But I'm never going to let someone stand over me. I'm a man first. My kids are in the stands. I don't play by like those type of games. And so whatever happens at that point happens.
All right, fair enough. So now you even the series 1-1. You got to go to Boston for 2 games there. You've been here so many times, as I mentioned before. Mentality-wise, what's the difference between going on the road for games 3 and 4 versus having those first 2 at home?
You have to expect the unexpected on the road. Their crowd going to be into it. Guys are going to feed off that. And you have to be ready and prepare for that. You have to take punches and throw punches back, ultimately knowing that it's you against the world in that building. And they have a great fan base. We know that. Beantown is a championship town. And so, we're looking forward to going in there and and stating our case and showing who we are.
Hey, the key to being successful on the road is looking forward to those opportunities. You got 2 more games this week. We'll see you Game 3 Wednesday there in Boston. Draymond, appreciate the time.
Thank you for having me.
And in terms of how to get this done, how to have enough support around him, is this going to be kind of a different challenge?
There's plenty of concern about plenty of things. Boston's a hell of a team. They have a great defense. They've got guys who are athletic and powerful and can get to the rim. And so whatever it takes, we're going to need contributions from a lot of people. And, I think we're perfectly capable of winning games where Steph doesn't have a huge night. It just means other guys got to step up and score for us. But that's something that they've done all year.
Barry in the middle here.
Hey, Steve, Barry Bloom from Sportico. Your first half, you had no offensive rebounds, no second half, second chance buckets until the very end of the half. It seems like you guys take your mid-range jumpers, you take your three-pointers. If they don't hit, then that's it. The ball goes the other way. Is that something that you want, or is it something that you'd like to make an adjustment on?
Well, we've been a pretty good offensive rebounding team throughout the playoffs. I thought that in the first half, it was an incredibly physical game, and shots were hard to come by. We weren't getting past them on offense, so that we weren't really creating any defensive rotations, and which would lead to offensive boards. So if the game can open up for us a little bit like it did in the third quarter, then we're able to get better shots to make the defense rotate, and then you got a chance to get a few offensive boards like Wiggs did in that third quarter.
Anthony on the left.
Yeah, it had obviously been a pretty rough first 3 halves of the series for Jordan. You put him in late third, and he kind of has that flurry. What can that do for him? Did you see anything different that was going on with him in that second half?
No, nothing different. I think the deeper you get in the playoffs, the better the competition, the better the defense. So you have to adjust. You got to figure out how to attack, and you have to do that as a team. You have to do that individually too. So Jordan's still a very young player, learning on the fly, but he's had such a great season, and he's so talented and confident that I have a lot of faith that he'll figure this out. And I thought tonight he did a good job of finding his way.
Steve, I'm Young with ESPN. You guys go on a 41-14 run after halftime. What did you or any of the team leaders say at halftime? And then also, after these first 2 games, what would you assess how you guys have played? I mean, obviously you blew the lead in game 1, then in game 2 you blow them out.
Really, there wasn't a whole lot of strategic change. A couple tweaks here and there. The preparation was mostly about our intensity and physicality, and it was obviously ramped up tonight, and it needed to be given what Boston did in game 1. So that's the name of the game in the finals. It's hard to get an open shot out there, and it's supposed to be difficult. Game 1 was too easy for Boston with the looks they were getting in that fourth quarter.
Last question, Vince in the middle.
Vince Goodwill, Yahoo Sports. Steve, the Celtics' bugaboo this playoffs has basically been to turn the ball over. You guys forced a lot, especially early. Was that a point of emphasis coming in, especially putting Draymond on Jaylen Brown and trying to disrupt that matchup?
I think turnovers are often a byproduct of physicality and intensity, and I thought we brought that from the start. Draymond had plenty to do with that. So did Gary. So did Wiggs. I thought our whole team was physical and intense, and we did a good job of trying to make things difficult for them.
Thanks, Coach.
The thoughts of Steve Kerr following the Warriors' Game 2 win. Golden State now 5-0 following a loss and outscoring opponents